What's up YouTube? I am the SuperCinefile. Today we're going to talk about some current events, play a game, and talk about movies. Let's get started. Okay, so current events in the industry right now. One of the big ones going on right now is the fact that The Hobbit, according to Peter Jackson, the production has been, or at least as far as they are telling us, they've decided to move the shooting location from New Zealand to elsewhere. They don't know for sure yet, but it's definitely not going to be New Zealand, which is really unfortunate, seeing how, you know, Jackson himself is a Kiwi, and, you know, it was very important to him to be able to shoot that film there, much like he did, or just as he did with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which was quite successful and brought a lot of tourism to New Zealand. There's some good news. I guess there's kind of this trend going on. It started in the literary world where people were taking classical or historical figures and kind of mixing them with the sci-fi sort of horror genre. I think that there was one called Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and things like that. But apparently there's a book out called Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. And it's actually been greenlit to be made, and it's being made by the Kazakhstani director who directed Wanted. His name is Timur, sorry, I'm going to butcher this, Bekmambetov. Timur Bekmambetov. And so we'll see how that goes. And I heard a rumor somewhere that also Tim Burton is producing it, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if they just got mixed up with the guy's name, because it kind of sounds like a really foreign version of Tim Burton's name. I'm not sure. And lastly, as far as current events goes, Netflix apparently has now exceeded, I think for the fourth quarter in a row, their streaming video sales, rental sales, have exceeded that of their actual DVD rental sales. And so it's really just kind of a sign of things to come. We're seeing how much more technologically savvy the industry is becoming, and it might not be long before we see the entire industry has abandoned all formats, and it's just going to be completely digital streaming video. So anyway, that's the news, and we're gonna now move on to the game of the week. Okay, so I'm doing a portion now, the beginning this week, being our second week, so I guess I've made a couple of developments from the first time. But what I'd like to do is kind of do like a game of the week. Each time, I'm going to try to mix it up so we're not doing the same game each week, but we'll probably have a lot of the same games several times, just because, you know, I'm going to be trying to think of creative ways that we can, you know, use our useless trivia knowledge of films in a way to make it fun, but so far I've only got kind of a small repertoire going. So this week's game is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Seinfeld game that they play called like the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, or 6 Degrees from Kevin Bacon. I can't remember exactly what the name of it was, but it's essentially where you pick two actors and you put them, you link them together through co-stars. And so I'll kind of give you an example. Here's one that I thought of, and I have to give you Scout's honor. Sorry, here's my Scout's honor. I wasn't a Eagle Scout, but I am a Boy Scout, or I did get, I think, to my life or something like that. So it counts for something. Anyway, I'm just making this promise to you. I didn't look this up, and that's kind of how you have to play this. You have to play it on your honor, that you're not going to look it up through IMDb or anything like that. Sorry, my hand's getting tired again. Guess I can't. I'm having trouble doing this. Might need to, you know, start working out, practicing how to hold this camera up for longer. So anyway, I picked two actors today just randomly. I didn't have any foreknowledge of these connections that I've come up with, and I'm just going to give you an example of what I did today, and then I'm going to leave one with you guys. And I've already worked this one out too, the one that I'm going to give you, but I want to see how you guys do with it. So the one that I worked out for myself was to link Mickey Rourke and Billy Birdie, a famous little person actor, together. And sometimes, you know, I have trouble working different directions, so I have to I have to pick one and just kind of work up from there. So in this case, I picked Billy Birdie. And now Billy Birdie was in Willow as the Grand Elwyn, and so he starred with Val Kilmer, who played Mad Mardigan. Now Val Kilmer was in Deja Vu with Denzel Washington, and Denzel Washington was in The Bone Collector with Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Brad Pitt was with I think this is right, Matt Damon in Ocean's 11, or any of the Ocean's films. I think they're in all three. And so Matt Damon was in he was in Count of Mr. Ripley with Gwyneth Paltrow, and Gwyneth Paltrow was with Mickey Rourke in Iron Man 2. So that's kind of how it works. And I believe I did that in 7. So I mean, the goal is to do it in 7. If you can do it shorter, you know, that's kind of that's always better. But try to do it within 7. So what I'm going to give you is I can actually link this with 1, and some of you guys who are more, you know, I guess savvy, you can probably figure this out too. But I want to link the Charlton Heston and Christopher Walken together. And so you can't look at IMDb like I said before, but just kind of go off your knowledge and see how you can link Christopher Walken and Charlton Heston together. Good luck. So now we're going to get into the film we watched last week, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. I actually really enjoyed this film. I thought it was very exciting, very fun. There was lots of things for cinephile and non-cinephile to like in this. But I guess I'll go straight to the cinephile type things that I enjoyed a lot. First of all, one of the things I really liked, sorry, got my head down here. One of the things I really liked was the cinematography. I thought it was just great the whole way around. You know, great angles, great camera movement. There was lots of really cool long shots with large sweeping dollies and crane shots and all kinds of things like that. I'm sure some of it might have been CG, but you know, it worked pretty well. It was pretty seamless, I thought, in lots of ways. One thing I really like about Korean, I guess just Asian filmmakers in general, is they have a good sense of timing. They have a good sense of patience. They tend to take just a little bit longer on some things, but sometimes it's just the right amount of time to hold on something, or to, you know, more slowly dolly or move past something. Another aspect that I really liked about the film was the production design. I thought it worked awesome as a Western type setting. You know, it's set in 1940s, but it's frontier enough. There's a lot of rustic, you know, just very, you know, organic type set pieces in there that just make it really seem like a true kind of a Western type town. And then just the color choices and different things like that. I really love just the production design and the art direction on all of that. I thought it was, you know, very beautifully done, and very well, I guess, executed in post-production too, because I could tell probably a lot of that was done in post-production, just bringing out those you know, earth tone colors, but making them a little bit more saturated and standing out a little bit more, you know, and then also, you know, associating these colors with different characters. I guess we can get into actors too. Like I was actually really surprised. I mean, I'm not sure how much I can say that I've ever enjoyed the performances of foreign actors, because I don't normally get the full effect of a performance unless I can truly see or understand what they're saying. But between I thought the very well translated dialogue and just the performances, the physical performances of the actors, I could really get into the performances, and I just really enjoyed it, especially the Weird character. I thought he was quite entertaining. In fact, he was probably about just as entertaining as the original, the man who played the ugly in the original The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. They definitely make it a great watching experience, those characters. And And the action, I mean, it was just really well thought out. That was really well choreographed. You know, they had some really exciting sequences, like when they're in the ghost market city, and the good guy is using the rope system to be able to navigate around the area and use his sharpshooting skills to take out the bad guys. I thought that was really awesome, kind of like a scene out of Indiana Jones, but I think maybe even better executed. And you know, it was scenes like that were just entertaining. They had lots of really good, you know, gunplay going on there. You know, people having your classic Western duel, and that's another thing I thought they really executed really well in the film was the genre codes, or just the archetypical things that you normally see in a Western film. They made it work really well in a 1940s China setting. And even at the same time, they were able to accurately put in a good Chinese flair to it. I don't know if accurate's the right word. They were able to effectively put in a good Chinese flair to it all. You know, they made it Asian, they made it their own. I guess it's not Chinese, it's Korean, but it is taking place in China. And so it worked really well, I thought. They were able to just to make everything meld together to be a quite successful film. And you can really tell, I thought anyway, you can really tell that the director loved this genre. He had a great love for it, and he wanted to be true to it, and I think he held really well to that. Okay, so this week's film is going to be The Haunting. It's not the 1999, I think it was 1999 version with Owen Wilson. That one kind of sucked, and I don't recommend it. By the way, just as a side note, does anybody remember back during that time when Owen Wilson was known as the guy who always got his head cut off, or was in a, like when you saw him in a movie, you knew he was going to be dead at some point in the film? I kind of remember those times, and it's just interesting to see where people have come from and where they've gone today. So anyway, just thought I'd leave you that little nostalgic tidbit. Actually, the film we're going to watch this week is going to be The Haunting, which was the original that the 1991 crappy film was based off of, or I guess a remake of. This one was a 1963 film directed by Robert Wise. You might know Robert Wise for some of his other directing work, such as The Sound of Music. I guess he did West Side Story, a couple of musicals in there. Hang on, let me check. I have to just kind of figure this out. He also directed Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and The Day the Earth Stood Still, the original, not the other bad one. It seems like lots of people are making bad remakes of his films. I kind of feel bad for him. So, The Haunting is essentially a ghost story. It's a haunted house story, but it's actually quite well executed, at least. I'm told from others, sorry, my camera's getting out of focus. I'm told by others that it's actually quite entertaining. It's really well executed, and I'm excited to give it a watch, kind of see for myself, you know, what's admirable about it, and who doesn't love a good horror film at Halloween time? So go ahead and try to locate a copy of it. I'll try to post a link in my comments or in my information bar to be able to help you find places where you can rent it, or maybe get it from Netflix streaming video, because they're cool like that now. And so I look forward to talking with you all next week about The Haunting, and we'll have a good Halloween episode. Thanks, bye.